Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham. Alongside Jeremy Jeffcoat, we'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics and maybe a little bit beyond. Thank you so much for all of you out there making some time for us today and joining us, however you choose to tune us in, whether that be on your Spectrum cable dial or dialing us up on Facebook or YouTube. Go and check out our YouTube and subscribe to that page. We would appreciate it if you would. That continues to grow, and we appreciate all of you out there so very much. Obviously, big thing happened last Friday. Luke and I talked a lot about that last night. While we've kind of been pretending that college athletics is not really professionalized. It really has been kind of with the transfer portal and being paid, but with NIL. But now it's official that you can revenue sharing.
I think it's a little different. It's been official since collectives came about. Okay, whether it was under law or not, the collectives came about and it became, paid athletes at that point.
But we all pretended that it wasn't.
I didn't.
Well,
I didn't.
Well, you had to say, well, no, that's capitalizing off your name, image, and likeness.
No,
that's not pay for play.
No, the collectives were pay for play. They have been. That's one of the reasons I think that the House settlement thing, which still got some kinks to be worked out, is a step in the right direction, only because it organizes things. That you have to have, when you just have these NIL collectives that can pay anybody whatever they want to. You've got a guy at Texas Tech, that billionaire out there, is going to spend like $52 million on their program this year.
Right.
You have Ohio State last year, rumors of a $30 million roster, with no rules to govern it at all, right? So now you have what you really were going to have, which is a structure for athletes to be paid. Mm-hmm. And once you get a structure, it's not the end-all, be-all, obviously, but once you get a structure, then you can start building in the rules around it.
Well,
right?
Just because you have a structure, though, who's in charge? That's been the problem the whole time.
I think it's pretty obvious who's in charge. The SEC and the Big Ten are going to be in charge. They're going to run this. NCAA can call themselves whatever they want, but the SEC and the Big Ten will run this. And whatever rules they come up with, which we're already seeing some, the clearinghouse where NIL deals will have to go through, things like that. As long as you operate it right, it's got a chance to work. It's a step. It's not the finish line, but it's a step in a positive direction of having some sort of structure around the system.
But the whole point, and we'll talk about that, but the NIL deals now have to go through a clearinghouse.
Right.
And, that is essentially the NCAA, right?
Again, the SEC and the Big Ten will decide who.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, I don't care what they say.
But let's say the quote unquote the clearinghouse has to have some teeth.
Yeah.
To be able to say, no, that's not acceptable. That's pay for play. That's not capitalizing. So, but how long will it be before somebody just sues them and says, well, no, this is right. You can't tell me that I can't do that.
Well, and once again, that's why legislation has to be involved. Because eventually you're going to have to get to
antitrust.
An antitrust exemption.
Yeah.
And that it allows you to have rules that like that, right? So, and I think that's kind of where we're headed. Eventually it's going to get there. You'll have this will start. It'll be a step in the right direction. There'll be lawsuits and there'll be stuff, and then it will eventually kind of merge into whatever it becomes down the road. But the big thing they got to deal with right now, in my opinion, Andy, is not the university salary caps or the NIL clearinghouse. It's the dadgum transfer portal. I don't care if a kid makes $2 million a year. Doesn't bother me a bit. I'm not worried about it at all, right? As long as he's out there and performing and playing and doing his thing, fine, whatever. Pay him $10 million a year. I don't care what you pay him. But I do care that, like 3 times a year, a team can lose a third of its roster.
Yeah.
I think you've got to me, the perfect time would be May. Do it at the end of a semester, at the end of spring practice. Here's your 20 days. Transfer portal's open, and then it closes, and then from June and July you're in workouts and you're headed towards the next season.
Well, is the only way to solve that contracts and multiple year contracts?
I think that's one possibility. The other one is just to have one transfer portal.
But I still don't want guys leaving every year. I mean, I love, and the whole. I mean, it doesn't prevent guys from going from team to team, but the baseball model of if you choose to go to college, you got to play college for 3 years.
Right.
Why can you put a limit on that and not say, well, look, if you commit to this team, if you want to play for this team, then we're going to have at least 2-year contracts with this team.
The reason is because the MLB goes along with it.
Yeah. Okay.
To play in the NFL, there's no.
Well, certainly, yeah, it's dangerous.
But what I'm saying is the NFL doesn't have a rule, right? The MLB goes along with the 1 or 3, right? You're either in or you're at college for 3, and the MLB is okay with it. The NFL doesn't have that rule. So it doesn't matter what the college says. If the pro league is like, come on, then, you come on.
Well, how about NFL get on board? I mean, that still doesn't address the skipping from team to team while you're in college.
No, one has nothing to do with the other, and that's why I think. Look, I'm okay with the multi-year contracts. If I'm a school, that's the first question I got. Can I offer a kid a multi-year deal? And that multi-year deal has consequences on both sides, right?
Yeah. Maybe you offer some 1-year deal, some 2-year deals.
Yeah.
Some 3-year deals.
Yeah, I mean that could be negotiated with the player, right? But. Remember this, though. Scholarships have always been 1-year renewable. Mm-hmm. They're not 4-year They never have been 4-year scholarships. They were 1-year renewable. So the school could choose to let you go anytime they wanted to.
Yeah. They never did.
Now it's, they did. Oh, they did.
Well,
they did.
There were several.
There were kids that got run off many schools.
Back in the day. But a lot of times, they would always find you. If they didn't want you on the team anymore, you would have some sort of scholarship to fall back on. Well, you just be an academic guy. We're just going to, the old. Yeah,
or they just run you off. Coaches just run you off. So.
Well, yeah, that happened quite a bit.
But I mean, it's a shift in the power dynamic between the coaches, administrators, and the players. That is making it uncomfortable for everybody. But eventually that's going to settle into whatever power dynamic it becomes.
The biggest question I had, we were trying to, talk about last night, but we had no clue about the $2.8 billion that is going to be paid out over the next 10 years, going back to 2016, athletes that played all the way up to today. That is in addition to that. The $20.5 million has nothing to do with that.
Right.
That's totally separate. So how do you divvy up that money, and who gets what, and who determines who gets what?
Yeah, that's one that it's like any other class action thing. It's not going to be that much money.
Well, I mean that's a lot.
You ever
of
been
people.
in a class action?
That's a lot of pieces, but that's a pretty big pie.
It's a pretty big pie. There's a lot. I mean. How many thousands and thousands and thousands of athletes are we talking about? Are we talking about 1 million? Could it be 1 million?
Well, we're talking about 130, give or take, schools. That's just FBS.
Right.
Does this just pertain to FBS athletes?
I don't know. I haven't read the suit, so I don't really know.
But
I mean, one, I mean, I hate to sound callous, but I don't care. You know, like however they divvy it out is how they divvy it out. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
You know, I want to watch good football on Saturdays. You know, but like I said, the transfer portal to me is a much bigger problem right now.
But most people are saying now, or the estimates say, well, basketball and football players will get 90% of this $20.5 million, and then you'll just, I don't know what you'll do with that. I mean,
I think some schools will do it differently. Some schools won't spend 20.5. You know, I mean, it's not like every school is being given 20.5.
But that's going to accelerate the, you know, the gap between the haves and the have-nots, and that's going to push us toward if you don't use that 20.5 million, right?
Well,
I mean schools that I can't afford to pay that or don't choose to pay that will be irrelevant.
That's right. I mean, again, a school that spends $100 million on a facilities renovation 10 years ago for recruiting purposes, and a school that spends $100,000 on a renovation, this is not new. No. The haves and have-nots is not a new thing.
No.
We're not creating a problem here. This is a problem that has existed for 50 years in college
It's just
football.
going to get bigger, I would think.
I don't know how it gets any bigger.
Nah.
I mean, seriously.
Well, I think you separate away a 40, 50-team league.
Yeah. That's eventually coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the Big Ten and the SEC will let us know when. It's where we're coming down to, right? You're coming down to two major college football leagues that are going to be in league with each other, not necessarily combined.
Yeah.
And are going to do the sport.
And that's nearly 40 schools now. Just those two leagues.
Yeah.
Up against our first break here. Love to hear from you. 256-234-6221. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Zaxby's birthday cake milkshakes are back. Just in time for Zaxby's 35th birthday, so they're gifting you half-off handcrafted milkshakes. Happy birthday to us all. Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes. Who's got the sauce?
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Visit our new locations in Gadsden and Oxford today.
Adams Motorsports of Montgomery knows it's the best time to ride. Right now, get the best deals on all of our Suzuki and Kawasaki street bikes, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and dirt bikes. Adams Motorsports has it all, and our inventory is vast. Get out there, ride the streets and trails, and let Adams Motorsports make your pleasure our business. With family customer service and service after the sale. It's time to ride, so come see us on Eastern Boulevard, Montgomery, or online at adamsmotorsports.com.
There are quesadillas, and then there's Zaxby's giant chicken finger quesadillas, packed with their famous chicken fingers, cheese, and a whole lot of sauce. We're gonna need more napkins. Zaxby's giant chicken finger quesadillas. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
The clock is ticking on the spectacular pre-owned truck sale now in progress at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Chevy, Ford, GMC, and Dodge trucks and Toyota trucks too. Full-size and heavy-duty, smaller trucks, work trucks. Prices and payments on all pre-owned trucks have been slashed. This is your chance to get a clean late-model used truck at the price you want. And during the sale, special finance rates are now in effect. This sale may end at any time. One location only, Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. We are brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center. They got 9 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do-It Center today. Sensagreen Heating, Cooling, and Insulation for air that's cool and clean. Call Sensagreen 334-487-3555 and J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation for all of your needs. Give them a call. No job's too big, no job's too small. Commercial or residential, 334-531-0199. We were talking about, professional college football is what I think we're going to have to get used to.
There's the interesting aspect to this because we know, because the law states, that you cannot prevent somebody from earning money off of their name, image, and likeness. So outside of that $20.5 million, players also have the ability to work out a deal. We saw Bryce Young do it with Dr. Pepper several years ago. Yeah. Caitlin Clark and State Farm, you mentioned in the thing.
Bo Nix and Milo's tea.
Bo Nix and Milo's tea, great example. Your question on the sheet was, how do you make sure it's a true NIL and not just a workaround for boosters to pay recruits? One, it is a legal workaround for boosters to pay recruits. Let me give you an example. And I'm going to leave all names out of this, okay?
Okay. To protect the guilty or the innocent?
To protect both. I lived and worked in a unnamed college town for a number of years.
Okay.
Got to know quite a few people in said unnamed college town. And a friend of mine was a car dealership owner in this unnamed college town. Well, he would love to pay Auburn football players to do his commercials, or Alabama, or Tennessee, or Florida. Somebody, like, hey, can I pay Tim Tebow $20K and have him record 3 commercials for me, right?
Yeah.
He would love to do that, but he wasn't able to because of the NCAA rules, right? Now, a guy like that can do it. So if you own a tire store in Tuscaloosa, as my uncle did for many years, and there's a running, my uncle was, for some reason, him and Santonio Beard became really good friends, right?
Okay.
Santonio would bring his car out there to get worked on, and my uncle's crew would take care of it. And he just, for whatever reason, he just fell in love with the kid. He's like, oh, it's the nicest kid, you ever met. So, like, Santonio Beard's senior year, he came out there because something was wrong. He was throwing a rod or something in his car. And my uncle was like, well, look, I'll just fix it for you, and then you can pay me later. And he's like, no. He's like, I can't do that. I'll get in trouble. My senior year's coming up. I will lose my eligibility. So my uncle just stored the car there at his shop. And at the end of the last game, my uncle fixed the car. As soon as the last game was over, fixed the car. And I think he said Santonio came back like 6 months later and gave him some money for it. But it's like he would love to have gone, hey, why don't you record a little commercial for me? Hey, I'm Santonio Beard.
Yeah.
And I'm over here at, whatever the name of the place was. And, I'm over here and, got my car worked on here. They're great people, whatever, and I'll fix your car for you. I mean, that's business in America,
but that's
right?
what NIL was supposed to be.
Right. And it can be in bigger levels, too, for major companies. But I'm just talking about small stuff. But the point I was getting to in the unnamed college town with the unnamed car dealership owner that I knew, he couldn't do that. But he also knew several of the football players and wanted to take care of them, so he would hire them for car washing jobs in the off season. He never washed any cars.
Yeah.
He just paid them. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff you got to get around. That's the kind of stuff you got to cut out. And you're still going to have.
Yeah, it's still going to go on.
You're going to have people that are going to try to cheat the system.
Yeah.
But if I'm a businessman, I don't mind paying you some money. You do something for me. In the past, the NCAA prevented the athlete from being able to do anything for the business owner. But if I'm a business owner, and and look, I'll tell you right now, if you're an Auburn player or something, and you want a Funky Goat endorsement, we'll talk. I don't have any money, but it's okay. So, but I guess that's what I'm getting to. That's just honest business, right? And then there are people who are going to get mad because it's going to be like a big business. Blue Cross Blue Shield goes out and hires Jackson Arnold, to do a series of commercials for him and pays him out the wazoo, and everybody goes, well, that's not fair. Well, sure it is. They've just got more money than the small town guy. Yeah. So, it just, to me, I think this will be easier to police than what we had before. Because what you had before was brown paper bags with 10 grand in them. How you going to track that?
We say all this and all this structure and everything like that's we all talk like we want to get to a place where it all makes sense and it's all fair and that's wonderful and that's
careful on the fair though.
Well, that's a novel idea. Yeah. But if you did get it that way and every NIL deal was legitimate and everybody makes what they should make in the of the 20.5
or makes
million
what they can make.
Of that cap.
Yeah.
What will put it over the top? Somebody will find a way to go under the table to get to have the advantage.
My question though is why? If I'm a booster that owns a big business and I want to help out the football team and pay a couple of players, right, to help put them over the top and getting them to come to school. And they're going to provide a service for me, then I'm okay with that, as long as they're able to provide a service for me. The problem was it was all one-sided in the old days, where you had the boosters that wanted to do this, but they weren't allowed to get anything back from the athlete in return. This to me levels it out a little bit.
$100 handshake may still be the difference, though, in a recruit.
I don't think $100 is going to do it anymore.
$1 million handshake.
Yeah, I don't.
We got to take a break. Yeah. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with
$100. Come on, man.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sense Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sense Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates. Visit Sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean. Care about the air you breathe. Call Sense Green.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. I always like to remind you about Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines. It's a great business in the Montgomery and Auburn area. Tremendous food, daily lunch specials. Go and check them out on their website, steaksandwine.com. That's excuse me, just the letter N, steaksnwine.com. They got a wide variety of wine, probably the best selection in the Auburn area. Again, steaks, ribs, burgers, whatever it might be. They've got a little bit of everything there, and the food is absolutely tremendous. Got deals going on throughout the month of June and all summer, really. So go and check those out. Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines. All right, the College World Series going on right now. I don't know how much of that have you kept up with.
0.
That's Luke was railing against it last night, and it is very unfortunate the way it has worked out. Okay, you had, I think 14 SEC teams?
Yeah.
Maybe make the NCAA tournament, only 2 move on, and they got to play each other in the first round.
Yeah.
And they're the 2 highest seeds left. So, does it bother you that they don't reseed?
I think anytime you have a playoff format that involves seeding, reseeding is always important.
Yeah.
Look, the best run professional sports league we have is the NFL. The NFL reseeds after the wild card round. They'll reseed again after the divisional round. You don't know if you're going to be the home team or not because it depends on which seed wins, right? So, and that way the teams that have the better season are rewarded, for that season rather than just, okay, well, now we've set the playoffs and whatever happens, happens,
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, it was kind of a wild tournament so far. I mean, Louisville unseeded, they're not one of the top 16. Arizona not one of the top 16. Murray State also getting in. 15 seed UCLA. 13 seed Coastal Carolina.
But you got to call that one.
Very good team.
I mean, you got to call that one.
Oh, yeah.
The Auburn Coastal Carolina. I didn't say you called Coastal to win, but you were like, oh,
they're really
one.
good. Yeah. That pitching staff was outstanding. So I think, and they've won a national championship. So they're a very good team. I think anytime LSU gets in the College World Series, I say look out.
Yeah.
You better keep an eye on them because they know how to win it.
They could wind up playing each other twice, couldn't they?
I think so. Probably so.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
It's kind of where I am on college baseball. If there's a final game at the end, I'm all in. I'll watch the whole thing.
Okay. You don't watch the series at the end, the 3. You don't really care that much about it.
No.
Okay.
I'm still on my Major League Baseball thing.
All right.
Until the Braves make me stop.
We'll talk about if we got time, we'll squeeze in a Braves segment. But here's an interesting one, and we were talking about the transfer portal. Well, this is major college football these days. Where are they now? This is some of these guys I knew where they went. Some of these guys I didn't. I was a little bit surprised. Walker White goes to Baylor, former Auburn quarterback.
He's not starting. Right?
Not going to start.
Okay.
They've got a pretty Sawyer something.
Yeah.
Sawyer Robertson.
Yeah.
Is that his name? He's really good. So he's going to start. Walker White going to be the backup there, but nonetheless, he is going to be on that team that Auburn's going to open with on a Friday night, end of August. All right, Hank Brown, he goes to Iowa. I believe he will be the backup there as well. Holden Garner goes to Texas State. Now, Auburn, has already seen a backup quarterback go there a few years ago and had one good year. So Texas State's usually got a very powerful offense. They run up down the field, but, it's Texas State. Will Holden Garner get a chance to play there? I have no idea. Cam Brown went to Georgia Southern. Always physically imposing wide receiver, but just never could get it going at Auburn. Now, notice, out of all these places, how many of them are lateral moves, how many of them are down?
Well, I always look at it as how many are Southeastern Conference schools.
Yeah.
There's 4.
Well, yeah, and a couple of those are at least one of those Mississippi State. So that's a down for me. But Sam Jackson, the fifth, transfer from Cal. He was a quarterback there. He played at wide receiver at Auburn. He didn't really play a whole lot. He goes to Oklahoma State. Caleb Burton, the third, another wide receiver, goes to UConn. Maybe he'll get a chance to play there. You know, he was the one that was the 5-star that was at Ohio State and came over to Auburn. Didn't really work out. Micah Riley. Now, he goes to Texas A&M. Essentially today that's a lateral move, and maybe he gets a chance to play. We'll see. That's somebody that Auburn will see this year. Rico Walker, tight end. He was a transfer to Auburn, going to Purdue. Okay. How about Percy Lewis going to Ole Miss? Lane Kiffin saw Percy Lewis at Auburn last year. Olay about 5 guys giving up sacks and then get benched and said, I got to have this guy.
I think, a lot of times you'll see that happen. You'll go, well, good riddance. Yeah. All right, for example, Alabama center from 2 years ago goes to Ohio State, wins national title, and finalist for the Remington Award, right? Did he win the Remington? He might have won it.
He may
have won it. But it's always that because sometimes you'll get a position coach or a head coach or somebody take a look and go, that's just a technique thing, man. I can fix that. It
ain't a technique thing with Percy Lewis. I guarantee
It'll be interesting to see if he gets playing time.
It will be, quite. He went from Mississippi State to Auburn to Ole Miss, so at least he's at home in Mississippi. All right, we got to take another break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air has teamed up again with the Food Bank of East Alabama and Montgomery Area Food Bank in an effort to reduce the high percentage of food insecurity within our communities. For every new Dixie Cares Plan membership purchase, Dixie will be donating 7 meals to partnered food banks. Over the last 3 years, Dixie, along with your help, has donated over 34,000 meals. Thank you for choosing Dixie and for helping us make a difference within our community.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We are located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Are you ready to showcase your skills and compete with the best in Alabama? The 42nd Alabama State Games are coming to Birmingham and Jefferson County from June 13th through the 15th, and it's your chance to be part of something incredible. Athletes from across the state will compete in sports ranging from archery to wrestling. Those participating in the opening ceremony are eligible for academic scholarships ranging from $500 to $5,000. Mark your calendar. Registration opens March 1st. Visit allagames.com.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Only a couple more segments left in today's show. Thank you so much for being with us. Let me run down the rest of this list of where are they now, and then we'll move on. But E.J. Harris, Auburn high school recruit, offensive lineman coming out of there. He goes to Middle Tennessee. Braden Joyner, another Auburn high school offensive lineman. He goes to Purdue, so that's two now to Purdue. Darren Reed, a very promising defensive lineman. Auburn, I think, flipped him from LSU late in the process. A couple of years ago, he goes to Mississippi State. So two to Mississippi State, three now to Purdue with T.J. Lindsey, a very promising defensive lineman and defensive tackle. He goes to Purdue. Gage Keys comes from Kansas to Auburn, then turns around and goes back to Kansas. Laquan Robinson goes with him. J.C. Hart from Lochapoka, Alabama, going out there to Utah. Now, that's an interesting transition. Utah's a very proud program. They very good the last several years. Tyler Scott to Georgia State. Caleb Wooden to Arkansas. Caleb Wooden was very promising safety, too. I kind of hated to lose him. Terrence Love to Colorado and C.J. Johnson to New Mexico. Interesting to see where all these guys, will they be productive where they are?
I think Darren Reed's got a chance to be productive. Mississippi State needs talented players.
That's true.
There's a good chance he's going to walk into that defensive line room and be one of the most talented guys there the second he gets there. So
Caleb Wooden could play at Arkansas too.
Yeah.
I think that could be, and Micah Riley at A&M. I'm interested to see how that works out. All right, your Atlanta Braves, JJ, 28 and 38.
I don't want them anymore.
11 and 19 in the last 30, 5 and 15 in the last 20, 2 and 8 in the last 10. 2 and 8.
You just feel like.
You said they had a month.
Oh, yeah.
That was a week ago.
Time's running out.
Going
to have to get on one of them, 18 out of 20 streaks at this point.
Mm.
It just feels like we are wasting a lot of young, talented guys. Because the core of the team is solid.
Yeah.
With Ronald and Ozzie and Austin and Olsen.
Yeah.
They're some of them are even. I mean, Ronald's not even old enough yet to be in his quote unquote prime, right? So, but you got Olsen in his prime. You got and Riley and Ronald, good young players, and Ozzie, and it just feels like. And then what really hurts is to see a player who was good for you, but then go somewhere else and just be dominant. And I'm speaking, of course, of one Max Fried. Good pitcher for the Braves. Not like what he is in New York. So, I don't know. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. And you've had some bad luck with some pitchers getting hurt. But Schwallenbach has pitched. He's been really good. Chris Sale has been everything plus what you wanted. He is who he is. But you're just not. I mean, they are way too talented a team to be 10 games under 500.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't know what to do with that. They've lost a lot of one-run games. Some part of that's baseball. You look at it and say, okay, well, I mean, this will work itself out by the end of the year. But I don't know. Sometimes you get into these kind of slumps and it can just swallow you.
Yeah.
So
it's like I said. I said some weeks ago, I feel like we're kind of coming to the end of the Snicker era. And I feel more like that now. I don't know.
Surely they're not going to hire Freddie again.
I wouldn't think so. There's some other guys out there I think you could point to before you got to Freddie again. But, I don't know. It just feels like it's just not working. There's just something's off. There's been some criticisms of Snigger on the Twitter machine. There's been some criticisms out of Atlanta about missing things, maybe not paying attention the way we should be, and or being late with a decision that should have made earlier. And those, I don't know. It feels like, and I hate to say it, feels like the wheels have kind of started to wobble.
We're missing a lug nut or something.
And they're right on the verge of just,
Yeah.
So.
I think that is a fair description of what has happened this year.
Well, I will just say if we get to the All-Star break and you start hearing about the Braves getting a couple of big-time prospects from Marcell Ozuna, then you know.
Well, the Braves are either going to turn it around or they're about to get buried because they got one more with the Brewers, and then they got the Rockies, who were probably the worst team in baseball. But then you got the Mets, at the Marlins, at the Mets, the Phillies. So 2 with the Mets and 1 with the Phillies.
By July 1st, we're going to know.
Yeah, they either going to be 5 games under 500 or 15 games under 500.
Yeah.
And it's not probably much different. All right, we got to take one final break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with one final segment right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit Sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
SignSource is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Buying a home or property can be the biggest investment of your life. The Wisdom Firm is licensed to close any property purchase in the entire state of Alabama. The office is on both Bent Creek Drive in Auburn and Highway 49 South at beautiful Lake Martin. The Wisdom Firm has you covered. Give Travis and his team a call at 334-826-0722 or check them out at www.auburnlegal.com for all your real estate closing needs. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than the quality of legal services made by other attorneys.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Better buildings, better prices, better buildings of Columbus.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Are you ready to showcase your skills and compete with the best in Alabama? The 42nd Alabama State Games are coming to Birmingham and Jefferson County from June 13th through the 15th, and it's your chance to be part of something incredible. Athletes from across the state will compete in sports ranging from archery to wrestling. Those participating in the opening ceremony are eligible for academic scholarships ranging from $500 to $5,000. Mark your calendar. Registration opens March 1st. Visit alagames.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Final segment on this Wednesday afternoon. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. Again, we're brought to you by Russell Dewitt Center, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensagreen Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Hey, before we get to the on-the-stay stuff, and everything,
by all means.
Back to our opening segment on the house settlement and the, we're talking about is the time to, contracts. If you were a school, I think I know how I would structure it. And I'll tell you how I would do it.
Okay.
I would offer position players a 3-year contract. I want you to commit to me for 3 years. I'm going to need 3 years to develop you. You may be a starter day one. You may be a red shirt. I don't know. But I need 3 years to develop you into the player I think you can be.
Right.
If you're a quarterback, I'm going to go 2 years, right? Because there's only one quarterback that can be on the field, right? I mean, you can't be in the rotation as a quarterback. So if it's quarterback, I'm going to make it 2 years because I'm not going to hold you to 3 or 4 years while you ride the bench, right? But give me 2. Let me get you, like I want you. And then if you're not happy at the end of 2, we part as friends. And position players, 3 years for the same reason, right? And you would still have, presumably, 2 more years to play somewhere if you want to transfer out.
Right.
What do you think?
I think that's fair. Quarterbacks are tricky.
Yeah.
How does that, bringing them in these days, I mean, when Terry Bowden was at Auburn, he had an idea, and the goal was for a guy to come in, play 2 years, while you develop the next guy, and he plays 2 years, and you develop the next guy, and he plays 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful.
I think every coach would love to do that.
That's wonderful in theory, but it hardly ever works out that way.
No, hardly ever. Well, because what happens is you get a younger guy that comes in there and you go, well, I can't keep him on the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we may see this at Alabama this year if Keelan Russell's as good as people say he is. Because while I think Ty Simpson probably be fine, if Keelan Russell is as good as Luke seems to think he is, I don't think you'd keep him off the field,
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll see. All right, June the 11th. That is today. On this day, 1977, Seattle Slew, one of the great thoroughbreds of all time, won the Belmont Stakes, wrapping up the Triple Crown. 1989, on this day, Michael Chang defeated Stefan Edberg to win the only Grand Slam of his career and became the youngest male ever to win a Grand Slam, 17 years old and 110 days.
I used to love to watch tennis back then.
I did too.
With Edberg and Agassi.
Yvonne Lindell.
Yvonne Lindell, yeah.
And Agassi.
Before that, Bjorn Borg.
I missed, that's a little before my time of watching it. I caught the tail end of Jimmy Connors.
Okay, so the reason I started watching pro tennis to begin with was because I think it was 1980 or 81, whatever year I was 9 or 10 years old, I watched that legendary John McEnroe
Bjorn
Borg match that went however long. I mean, it lasted forever.
Yeah.
The one that Borg won. And the next year, they did the same thing, and McEnroe won. But that one with the Borg won, I became a huge Bjorn Borg fan. But 2, I was like, man, that's exciting.
Yeah. Retired very early.
Yeah.
I think he was like 26.
He really did not like the spotlight. I think he suffered from some anxiety and depression, and he bowed out of the spotlight early.
Crazy. 1990, on this day, Nolan Ryan throws his 6th no-hitter.
How old was
Orioles.
he in 1990?
That's a good question. Not sure what year he was born. Had to be. I think he was 40. He was in his 40s when he retired, and I think that was 93. So I'm gonna say 39, but that's a guess.
He is currently 78.
Okay.
So you're going back 35 years.
78. He was born in 47.
You're going back 35 years, so he would have been 43
Okay.
when he threw his 6th no-hitter.
Wow. That's pretty
That's
incredible.
insane.
Retired Ken Phelps, Ricky Henderson, and Willie Randolph in the 9th inning against the Orioles in that one. 1990. Happy birthday today, the great Vince Lombardi. Born on this day, 1913. Died in 1970. Very funny, Gene Wilder.
Yeah, great comedian. Great actor.
Young Frankenstein. Blazing Saddles, still one of the funniest movies of all time.
He was Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Adrienne Barbeau.
She was so hot back in the day.
She was in a lot of B movies.
Oh, yeah.
Escape from New York, Swamp Thing, a lot of those, 1945. Known for her bra size, maybe?
Yeah.
Frank Beard.
Frank Beard is the only member of ZZ Top without a beard.
Ironically named Frank Beard.
Yes.
Yeah, born on this day, 1949. Graham Russell, born on this day, 1950. Air Supply.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm all out of love.
Yeah.
Can't live without you. How about Donnie Van Zandt?
38 Special.
Very
One
good.
of the battling Van Zandt brothers.
One of the Jacksonville Van Zandts.
Yes.
Gary Fensick.
Great safety for the Bears.
85 Bears, yeah. Joe Montana.
Still might be the best ever.
I would agree. And the greatest name to me
yeah.
of any quarterback of all time. Mehmet Oz, Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz, yeah.
Peter Dinklage.
He's the little guy from,
The Game of Thrones. Diana Taurasi. Jeff Ogilvy. Jose Reyes won a batting title with the Mets in 2011. Shia LaBeouf and Maya Moore.
Shia LaBeouf, really bad choice for young Indiana Jones.
Yes. Didn't work out well at all. It's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for being with us, CJJ. I'm Andy. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.